Welcome to my channel. Today I want to talk about something very important for English learners. Many people want to speak English fluently. They want to talk with confidence. They want to express their ideas clearly. But there is a problem. Many learners think they cannot improve their speaking because they are alone. They think they need a partner. They think they need a teacher. They think they must join a class. Because of this, they wait and wait for the perfect situation. But the truth is very different. You can learn to speak English even if you practice alone. Yes, you can improve your English by yourself. You can train your brain. You can train your mouth. You can build confidence step by step. In this video, I will show you simple and powerful ways to practice English alone. These methods are easy to understand and easy to follow. If you practice them every day, your speaking will slowly become better and better. So stay with me and watch this video until the end, because the ideas you learn today can completely change the way you practice English. Chapter 1. Today, I want to start with a very important idea. Many people believe that they cannot improve their English speaking if they are alone. They think they must have a partner. They think they must talk to a teacher or a friend every day. Because of this belief, many learners stop practicing. They wait for someone to help them. They wait for the perfect situation. Sometimes they wait for months or even years. But the truth is very simple. You can improve your English speaking even when you practice alone. Many successful language learners practice alone for a long time. They do not always have a teacher near them. They do not always have English-speaking friends, but they still become good speakers. How do they do this? They practice in simple ways every day. They train their brain to use English again and again. First, you need to understand that speaking is a skill. It is like learning to ride a bicycle. It is like learning to play the guitar. When you learn these skills, you do not become good in one day. You practice again and again. Every day you become a little better. English speaking works the same way. The more you practice, the more comfortable you become. Some people feel shy when they speak English in front of others. They worry about making mistakes. They think other people will laugh at them. Because of this fear, they speak less. They stay quiet in conversations. This is very common for English learners. But when you practice alone, there is no pressure. No one is watching you. No one is judging you. You can speak slowly. You can repeat the same sentence many times. You can make mistakes and learn from them. This is one of the biggest advantages of practicing alone. You have complete freedom. You can choose what you want to practice. You can choose how long you want to practice. You can stop and start anytime. This freedom helps you relax, and when your mind is relaxed, learning becomes easier. Another important point is repetition. Repetition means doing the same thing again and again. Your brain learns through repetition. When you say a sentence one time, your brain notices it. When you say the same sentence many times, your brain begins to remember it. Slowly, the sentence becomes natural for you. For example, imagine you say a simple sentence like this: I am learning English. The first time you say it, you may feel slow or unsure. But if you repeat it many times, your mouth becomes comfortable with the words. After some time, the sentence comes out naturally. This is how fluency begins. Fluency does not come from studying grammar rules all the time. Fluency comes from practice. It comes from using the language again and again. Think about how children learn to speak their first language. Children do not study grammar books. They listen, they repeat, they speak many times every day. Slowly, their language becomes better and better. Adults can learn in a similar way. The brain still learns through practice and repetition. Another important thing to understand is that practicing alone helps you build confidence. Confidence is very important when learning a language. When you feel confident, you speak more. When you speak more, you improve faster. Imagine a learner who only waits for a partner to practice with. If the partner is busy, the learner does not practice. If the partner is not available, the learner does nothing. This slows down the learning process. But a learner who practices alone does not have this problem. This learner can practice anytime. In the morning, in the afternoon, at night. Every small moment becomes an opportunity to learn. For example, you can practice while walking. You can practice while cooking. You can practice while sitting in your room. You can talk about your day. You can describe what you see around you. You can repeat simple sentences again and again. All of this helps your brain become familiar with English. Another benefit of practicing alone is that you can focus on your weak areas. Maybe you want to improve your pronunciation. Maybe you want to improve your vocabulary. Maybe you want to speak more smoothly. When you practice alone, you can choose the exact skill you want to improve. You can also take your time. Some learners need more time to think before speaking. When you practice alone, you do not need to hurry. You can think carefully. You can form your sentence slowly. This helps your brain learn how English sentences work. Over time, something very interesting begins to happen. English starts to feel more natural. At the beginning, every sentence may feel difficult. You may need to translate from your native language. But after many days of practice, your brain slowly becomes faster. You begin to think directly in English. This is a very exciting moment for every language learner. So remember this important idea. Practicing alone is not a problem. It is actually a powerful opportunity. It allows you to practice without fear. It allows you to repeat sentences many times. It allows you to build confidence step by step. If you practice alone every day, even for a short time, you will see progress. Maybe the progress will be small at first, but small progress every day becomes big progress over time. So do not wait for the perfect partner. Do not wait for the perfect classroom. Start practicing with yourself. Your voice is your first English partner. And when you use it every day, your English speaking will slowly become stronger and more confident. Chapter 2. Now I want to talk about a very simple but very powerful method. This method is talking to yourself in English. Many English learners feel surprised when they hear this idea for the first time. They think talking to yourself sounds strange. Some people even feel a little shy about it. But the truth is very different. Talking to yourself is one of the best ways to practice English speaking when you are alone. When you talk to yourself, you are practicing real speaking. You are making sentences. You are using words. You are training your brain to think in English. This is exactly what you need if you want to become fluent. Many learners spend a lot of time reading and listening, but they do not spend enough time speaking. Because of this, when they try to speak, they feel nervous. Their brain searches for words. Their mouth feels slow. This happens because speaking is a skill, and like every skill, it improves with practice. Talking to yourself gives you unlimited speaking practice. You do not need to wait for another person. You do not need to schedule a meeting. You can start anytime and anywhere. You can start with very simple sentences. For example, you can talk about what you are doing at the moment. You can say, I am sitting in my room. You can say, I am watching this video. You can say, I am learning English. These are simple sentences, but they are very powerful for practice. You can also talk about your daily activities. For example, in the morning you can say, I am waking up now. Then you can say, I am brushing my teeth. You can say, I am drinking tea. You can say, I am getting ready for my day. These small sentences help your brain connect English with your daily life. Another good idea is to describe the things around you. Look around your room. Maybe you see a chair, a table, a phone, or a book. You can say simple sentences like, this is my chair. You can say, my phone is on the table. You can say, this book is very interesting. When you do this, you are training your brain to think directly in English. At first, this practice may feel slow. You may need time to think of the right words. This is completely normal. Do not worry if your sentences are simple. Simple sentences are the beginning of fluency. Even native speakers use many simple sentences in everyday conversations. Another powerful way to talk to yourself is to tell short stories about your day. For example, at night you can talk about what happened during your day. You can say, today I woke up early. I had breakfast. Then I went to work. I talked to my friend. I watched a video. Now I am practicing English. This kind of practice helps you learn how to connect sentences together. You can also ask yourself questions and answer them. This is a very good way to practice conversations. For example, you can ask, what did I do today? Then you can answer, today I studied English for 1 hour. You can ask, what will I do tomorrow? Then you can answer, tomorrow I will practice speaking again. When you ask and answer questions, you are practicing real communication. This helps you prepare for conversations with other people in the future. Another helpful idea is to speak out loud. Do not only think in English. Move your lips and speak clearly. When you speak out loud, your mouth learns how to produce English sounds. Your pronunciation slowly becomes better. Sometimes learners worry about making mistakes when they talk to themselves. But remember something important. Mistakes are part of learning. Every learner makes mistakes. When you notice a mistake, you can simply correct it and repeat the sentence again. For example, you might say, "Yesterday, I go to the market." Then you realize the correct sentence is, "Yesterday, I went to the market." Now you can repeat the correct sentence 2 or 3 times. This helps your brain remember the correct structure. Another exciting benefit of talking to yourself is that it slowly trains your brain to think in English. Many learners translate from their native language. First, they think in their language, then they translate into English. This process is slow and sometimes confusing. But when you talk to yourself in English every day, your brain begins to skip the translation step. You start thinking directly in English. This makes speaking faster and more natural. You can practice talking to yourself anywhere. You can practice while walking outside. You can practice while cooking. You can practice while traveling on a bus or train. You can even practice while looking in a mirror. Speaking in front of a mirror is another helpful technique. When you speak in front of a mirror, you can see your face and your mouth. This helps you feel more confident. It also prepares you for speaking in front of other people. Even 5 or 10 minutes of talking to yourself every day can make a big difference. The important thing is consistency. Consistency means practicing regularly. Small daily practice is much more powerful than long practice once a week. So remember this simple idea. Your first English-speaking partner can be yourself. You always have your voice. You always have your thoughts. And when you use them in English every day, your speaking skills will slowly become stronger. Talking to yourself may feel unusual in the beginning, but after some time, it becomes natural. And the more you practice, the more confident you will feel when speaking English. Chapter 3. Now I want to talk about another very important habit for improving your English speaking. This habit is listening. Many people want to speak English fluently, but they forget something very important. Good speakers are also very good listeners. Listening helps your brain understand how English really sounds. When you listen carefully, you learn pronunciation. You learn sentence patterns. You learn how people connect words when they speak. Many learners try to speak without listening enough. Because of this, their speaking feels difficult. Their brain does not have enough examples of real English sentences. Listening gives your brain these examples. It shows your brain how English works in real life. When you listen to English, you begin to notice many things. You notice how people start a sentence. You notice how they finish a sentence. You notice the rhythm of the language. English has its own rhythm and music. Listening helps you understand this rhythm. You do not need very difficult material for listening practice. In fact, it is better to start with simple English. You can listen to easy English videos. You can listen to English stories. You can listen to simple podcasts for learners. The goal is not to understand every single word. The goal is to get used to hearing English again and again. When you listen regularly, your brain slowly becomes familiar with the language. Words that felt strange before begin to feel normal. Sentences that felt difficult become easier to understand. This process takes time, but it works very well. There's also a powerful technique you can use while listening. This technique is called listen and repeat. It is very simple, but it is very effective. First, you listen to a sentence. Then you pause the audio. After that, you repeat the sentence out loud. For example, imagine the speaker says, I am learning English every day. You listen carefully to the sentence. Then you pause the video. Then you say the same sentence with your own voice. You can repeat it 2 or 3 times. This practice trains both your ears and your mouth. When you repeat sentences, you learn how to pronounce the words correctly. You also learn how words connect together in natural speech. Over time, your speaking begins to sound smoother and more natural. Another helpful method is something called shadowing. Shadowing means speaking at the same time as the speaker. You play a video or audio and you try to speak together with the person. At first, this may feel a little difficult. The speaker may talk faster than you, but do not worry. With practice, it becomes easier. Shadowing is powerful because it trains your brain very quickly. Your brain listens and speaks at the same time. This helps you develop better rhythm and pronunciation. You can start with short sentences. Listen to one sentence and repeat it. Then listen again and repeat again. After some time, you can try longer sentences. Step by step, your ability will improve. Another interesting fact is how children learn languages. Children spend a lot of time listening before they begin to speak. They listen to their parents. They listen to people around them. Their brain collects thousands of examples of language. After some time, they begin to speak naturally. Adults can learn in a similar way. When you listen to English often, your brain collects many examples of sentences and expressions. Later, when you want to speak, these sentences come to your mind more easily. You can listen to English in many different ways. You can watch YouTube videos in English. You can listen to English songs. You can listen to audiobooks or podcasts. You can watch movies or simple English lessons. All of these activities help your brain become familiar with the language. It is also helpful to listen every day, even for a short time. For example, you can listen for 10 or 15 minutes in the morning. You can listen while walking. You can listen while traveling. Small listening practice every day is very powerful. Some learners feel frustrated when they do not understand everything they hear. But remember something important. Understanding every word is not necessary at the beginning. Even if you understand only some parts, your brain is still learning. Your ears are learning the sounds of English. Your brain is learning the patterns of the language. Slowly, your understanding will grow. Another good idea is to listen to the same material many times. The first time you listen, you may understand only a little. The second time, you understand more. The third time, you may understand most of it. Repetition helps your brain remember words and sentences. Listening also helps you learn natural expressions. For example, people often say things like, "How are you?" or "What are you doing?" or "That sounds good." When you hear these expressions many times, you begin to use them naturally in your own speaking. This is one of the secrets of fluency. Fluent speakers do not create every sentence from the beginning. They remember many common expressions and use them when speaking. So listening is not only for understanding English. Listening is also training for speaking English. The more you listen, the easier speaking becomes. Try to make listening a daily habit. Even a few minutes every day can make a big difference over time. Your ears will become stronger. Your pronunciation will improve. Your confidence will grow. When listening and speaking work together, your English improves faster. Your brain becomes comfortable with the language. Your sentences become smoother. And slowly, step by step, you move closer to speaking English fluently. Chapter 4. Now I want to talk about another very powerful way to improve your English speaking when you are alone. This method is reading aloud. Many learners read English every day, but they read silently. They look at the words. They understand the meaning, but they do not say the words with their voice. Because of this, their speaking does not improve as much as it could. Reading aloud is different. When you read aloud, you use your eyes, your brain, and your mouth at the same time. Your eyes see the words. Your brain understands the sentence. Your mouth speaks the words. This simple activity is very powerful for improving English speaking. Many English learners feel nervous when they try to speak. Their mouth feels slow. They are not sure how to pronounce some words. Reading aloud helps solve this problem. When you read aloud, you practice saying English words again and again. Your mouth slowly becomes comfortable with English sounds. English has many sounds that may be different from your native language. Some sounds may feel difficult at the beginning. But when you read aloud every day, your mouth muscles begin to learn these sounds. Just like exercising your body makes your muscles stronger, speaking English makes your speaking muscles stronger. You do not need difficult books for this practice. In fact, it is better to start with very simple texts. You can read short stories. You can read simple English lessons. You can read easy articles or graded readers. The goal is not to read something very difficult. The goal is to practice speaking clearly and confidently. When you read aloud, try to speak slowly and clearly. Do not rush. Take your time. Look at the sentence and say each word carefully. If you see a new word, you can try to pronounce it slowly. If you are not sure about the pronunciation, you can listen to the word in an online dictionary and repeat it. Another helpful idea is to read the same text more than one time. The first time you read, you may feel a little slow. The second time you read, the sentences become easier. The third time you read, you may feel much more comfortable. Repetition helps your brain remember the words and the sentence patterns. Reading aloud also helps you learn how English sentences flow together. English has a rhythm. Some words are stronger in a sentence and some words are softer. When you read aloud, you begin to notice this rhythm. This helps your speaking sound more natural. You can also practice reading with emotion. For example, if you read a story, imagine the situation in your mind. If the sentence is exciting, speak with excitement. If the sentence is calm, speak calmly. This makes the practice more interesting and more realistic. Another powerful technique is recording your voice while you read. Many learners feel surprised when they hear their own voice in English for the first time. Sometimes they notice small mistakes. Sometimes they notice that they speak too fast or too slowly. Listening to your own recording helps you understand what you need to improve. For example, you can read a short paragraph and record your voice on your phone. After that, listen to the recording carefully. You may notice that some words are not clear. You may notice that your pronunciation needs improvement. This is a good opportunity to practice again and correct the mistakes. You can also compare your voice with a native speaker. First, listen to a native speaker reading the same text. Then, read the text yourself. Try to copy the pronunciation and the rhythm. This practice helps you sound more natural when you speak English. Another benefit of reading aloud is confidence. Many learners are afraid to speak because they are not used to hearing their own English voice. But when you read aloud every day, speaking becomes normal. Your voice becomes stronger. Your confidence grows step by step. You can practice reading aloud at any time of the day. You can read in the morning to start your day with English. You can read in the afternoon when you have free time. You can read in the evening before going to bed. Even 10 minutes of reading aloud every day can help you improve. You can also choose topics that interest you. If you enjoy stories, read stories. If you enjoy learning new information, read simple articles. When the topic is interesting, the practice becomes more enjoyable. Another good idea is to keep a small notebook. When you read aloud, you may find new words. You can write these words in your notebook. Later, you can practice using these words in your own sentences. This helps you expand your vocabulary. Some learners worry about making mistakes when reading aloud. But remember something very important. Making mistakes is part of learning. Every mistake shows you something new. When you notice a mistake, simply correct it and repeat the sentence again. Over time, you will notice something wonderful. Your reading becomes smoother. Your pronunciation becomes clearer. Your confidence becomes stronger. When you speak in real conversations, the words come more easily. So remember this simple method. Reading aloud is not just reading. It is speaking practice. It is pronunciation practice. It is confidence training. It is a powerful way to improve your English when you are alone. If you practice reading aloud every day, even for a short time, you will see progress. Your voice will become stronger. Your sentences will become clearer. And step by step, you will move closer to speaking English fluently. Chapter 5. Now I want to talk about something very important for every English learner. This is building a daily English speaking routine. Many people try to learn English for some days and then they stop. They feel excited in the beginning, but after some time they lose motivation. Because of this, their progress becomes very slow. The problem is not intelligence. The problem is not ability. The problem is consistency. Consistency means doing something regularly. Even a small practice every day can create big results over time. When you practice English a little every day, your brain becomes familiar with the language. English slowly becomes a natural part of your life. Many learners think they need many hours every day to improve their English. But this is not always true. Even 20 or 30 minutes of daily practice can make a big difference. The most important thing is practicing regularly. A daily routine helps you stay focused. When you have a routine, You do not waste time thinking about what to do. You already know your practice plan. You simply start and follow the steps. Let us look at a very simple daily routine that you can follow. This routine is easy and powerful. First, start with listening. You can listen to English for about 10 minutes. Choose a simple video, a short story, or an English lesson. Listen carefully to how the speaker talks. Pay attention to the pronunciation and the rhythm of the sentences. After listening, you can practice repeating. Choose a few sentences from the video and repeat them out loud. Try to copy the way the speaker says the words. This will help improve your pronunciation and speaking rhythm. Next, spend some time talking to yourself in English. You can talk about your day. You can describe what you are doing. You can talk about your plans. For example, you can say, "Today I am practicing English." You can say, "Later I will watch a movie." This small practice helps your brain become comfortable with speaking English. After that, you can practice reading aloud. Choose a short paragraph from a simple book or article. Read the paragraph slowly and clearly. Try to pronounce each word correctly. If you find a difficult word, you can practice it several times. This simple routine can take about 20 or 30 minutes. It is not very long, but it is very effective. When you repeat this routine every day, your English will slowly improve. Another important part of a routine is choosing the right time. Some people like to practice English in the morning. Their mind feels fresh and active. Other people prefer practicing in the evening when they have free time. There is no perfect time for everyone. The best time is the time that works for you. You can also connect your English practice with your daily activities. For example, you can listen to English while walking or traveling. You can talk to yourself while cooking. You can read something in English before going to bed. When English becomes part of your daily life, learning becomes easier and more natural. Another helpful idea is tracking your progress. When you track your progress, you can see how much you are improving. For example, today you can record yourself speaking English for 1 minute. After 1 month, you can record yourself again. When you listen to both recordings, you may notice a big difference. This kind of progress is very motivating. It shows you that your practice is working. It encourages you to continue learning. You can also set small goals for yourself. Small goals are easier to achieve. For example, you can set a goal to learn 5 new words every day. You can set a goal to practice speaking for 10 minutes every day. When you achieve these goals, you feel proud of your progress. Another important thing is being patient. Learning a language takes time. Sometimes you may feel that your progress is slow. This feeling is normal. Every learner experiences this moment. But if you continue practicing, improvement will come. Think about learning like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, you do not see a tree immediately. The plant grows slowly under the soil. After some time, you begin to see the small leaves. With more time and care, the plant becomes a strong tree. Language learning works in a similar way. Daily practice is like watering the plant. Every small practice helps your English grow stronger. You should also try to enjoy your routine. Choose activities that you like. Watch interesting videos. Read stories that you enjoy. When learning feels enjoyable, it becomes easier to continue. Remember that fluency is not built in one day. It is built through many small efforts. Each day of practice is a step forward. Even if the step feels small, it is still progress. So make a simple plan for yourself. Practice listening. Practice speaking. Practice reading aloud. Follow your routine every day. Stay patient and stay consistent. When you do this, something wonderful will happen. Your confidence will grow. Your sentences will become smoother. Your brain will begin to think in English more easily. Step by step, day by day, your English speaking will become stronger. And the simple daily routine you follow will lead you closer to speaking English fluently. Chapter 6. Now I want to talk about one final and very important idea. This idea can change the way you think about learning English. Many people believe that fluent English speakers are special. They think fluent speakers are very talented. They think fluent speakers have a special brain for languages. Because of this belief, some learners feel discouraged. They think, maybe I cannot become fluent. But the truth is very different. Fluent English speakers are not special. Most of them simply practice more and worry less about mistakes. They understand that learning a language is a journey. They know that progress takes time. They know that mistakes are part of the learning process. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes. When they try to speak, they stop because they are not sure if the sentence is correct. They worry that the grammar may be wrong. They worry that the pronunciation may not be perfect. Because of this fear, they stay silent. But staying silent does not help you learn. Speaking, even with mistakes, helps you improve. Every mistake teaches you something new. When you notice a mistake, you can correct it and try again. This is how progress happens. Think about a child who is learning to walk. At first, the child falls many times, but the child does not stop trying. The child stands up and tries again. Slowly, the child becomes stronger. Finally, the child can walk and run with confidence. Learning English works in the same way. If you want to speak English fluently, you must give yourself permission to make mistakes. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are learning. Every mistake is a step forward. Another important habit of fluent speakers is confidence. Confidence does not appear suddenly. Confidence grows through action. The more you speak, the more confident you become. At the beginning, speaking English may feel uncomfortable. Your voice may feel unsure. Your sentences may feel slow. But when you practice regularly, this feeling begins to change. Your brain becomes more familiar with English. Your mouth becomes more comfortable with English sounds. Your sentences begin to come out more easily. This is how confidence grows. It is also important to celebrate small progress. Many learners only focus on big goals. They want to become fluent very quickly. But fluency is built through small steps. For example, maybe today you speak one simple sentence in English. That is progress. Tomorrow you may speak 2 or 3 sentences. After some time, you may speak for 1 minute without stopping. After a few months, you may speak for several minutes with confidence. Each small improvement is important. When you notice these small victories, you feel motivated to continue learning. Another helpful idea is to stay curious about the language. English is full of interesting words and expressions. When you see a new word, try to learn how people use it. Try to make your own sentence with that word. Curiosity makes learning more enjoyable. You should also remember that many people around the world have learned English in difficult situations. Some learners did not have expensive courses. Some learners did not have teachers nearby. Some learners practiced alone using simple tools like books, videos, and recordings. They succeeded because they did not give up. They practiced a little every day. They stayed patient. They stayed consistent. Over time, their English became stronger and more natural. You can do the same. You already have many tools to practice English. You can talk to yourself. You can listen to English every day. You can read aloud. You can build a daily routine. These simple habits can create powerful results. Another important thing is believing in yourself. When you believe that improvement is possible, you feel motivated to continue practicing. Positive thinking helps you stay focused on your goal. At the beginning of your journey, fluency may feel far away. But remember that every fluent speaker once started as a beginner. They also felt unsure at the beginning. They also made many mistakes. But they continued practicing. Step by step, their English improved. One day they realized that speaking English felt natural. This moment did not happen by magic. It happened because of regular practice. Your journey will follow the same path. Each day of practice moves you forward. Each sentence you speak makes you stronger. Each new word you learn expands your ability to communicate. So do not compare yourself with others. Focus on your own progress. Focus on your daily practice. Improvement will come with time. Speaking English fluently is not a secret talent. It is the result of simple habits repeated many times. Practice speaking. Practice listening. Practice reading aloud. Stay patient and stay consistent. When you follow these habits, your English will grow stronger day by day. One day you will notice that you are speaking more easily. You will feel more confident. You will enjoy conversations in English, and that moment will remind you that all your practice was worth it. Fluency is not a dream. It is a journey that begins with small steps. If you keep taking those steps every day, you will reach your goal of speaking English fluently.